Okay, Backlash 2023. Let's make this clear what this show was. This was meant and geared flat out for Latinos. I'm making it clear, guys. Look, I'm half Spanish. I didn't grow up around my father's family much. And I didn't grow up with the Puerto Rican language or the Puerto Rican heritage. Some of the stuff that was going on in the show, I didn't know. And it didn't really upset me because it's not something I worry about. But let's make this clear. If you're Spanish, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, Mexican, you will love this. Particularly with Bad Bunny in it. You will love this show. It's going to feel like it was only meant for you. That's flat. Let's make this clear. If JD's not going to say it, if just Alex is not going to say it, they'll say other stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm going to tell you what it is because that's what I see. I'm a very straightforward person. So anyone who's Latino, you're going to love this show. Generally speaking, you will love it. If you grew up with the heritage or whatever nationality you are, a Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, it don't make a difference. You're going to feel something there. You're going to love it. For other people, white or black, you'll get it, but it's not like it's going to be something very strong for you personally. For me personally, because I grew up in a black family, it's not something I feel that much of. It doesn't mean I don't recognize I'm Puerto Rican. But for me, seeing it like this and not getting all the stuff that's there, doesn't make me angry. And doesn't make me feel like this show wasn't for me. It wasn't. But it doesn't mean it was a bad show. This pay-per-view was not bad. There was some good stuff here, but when they made some of the announcements and some of the booking, I admit it wasn't that great. Because it was set up for Latinos. Let's make this clear. Opening, we got the SmackDown brand for the Raw Women's... This is what kills me here. We got Io Shirai. Yes, I know I could say Sky. I like Shirai better. She sounds cuter that way. And we got Bianca Belair. Two who can go. And the match was that damn good. This is one of the really good matches on the show. Flat out, there's no lie, there's no sugarcoating it. They tore it down as the opening for the show. But we're talking about the Raw champion who has been drafted to SmackDown, facing another SmackDown talent, fighting for a Raw title that either they're going to switch them back or they're going to have to do a trade of the titles, which makes it feel stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest here. This was stupid because you got a SmackDown talent holding a Raw title going up against another SmackDown talent who should have been a Raw talent. You tell me I'm wrong because it makes no freaking sense. None. Great match. Io, I've always liked Io. She, from what little I saw of her, at least before Damage Control. Since she's been in Damage Control, it has not been really 100% great because of the booking of Damage Control in general. But I could have bought her as a champ. But did I believe they're going to do it? No. Right now, Bianca is the longest running women's champion in history. That means she's longer than guess who? And she ain't going to stand for that for very long. Charlotte Flair. It's only a matter of time before Charlotte's going to get another title. Does she have a long run with it? Probably not, but it's not the point. She will have the most titles compared to the most longest title run. In the end, what do we get here? We got Damage Control coming out, messing around, but still could not get it done. Io could not get it done, even with Damage Control. What now? What happens to the Raw title now? Are they going to switch them without anybody watching? In other words, you're going to have Adam Pearce do a videotaping. Well, a taping, not videotaping. No one does video anymore much. But basically, they're going to show a video of both Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair without the fans there switching titles. Are they going to do that? Are they going to give us that opportunity to watch it? Or are they going to be crazy enough to do what they did with Charlotte and Becky and put them in the ring and let them swap? Because what are they going to do now? Now, let's move on to the match I did not care about. But I'm going to tell you this. due to the San Juan's fan, excuse me, the majority of these matches, whether you like them or not, they could easily feel exciting because the fans were so active. Flat out. It wasn't like anywhere else. This place was hot. Even the worst match, Seth Rollins versus Omos. Look, Omos is not that great of a wrestler, and Seth was selling his ass off for him. Of course, Seth won. But you're seeing Seth Rollins sell like crazy for Omos. For Omos, we're talking about here. Omos, and I'm not against Omos. He's an okay wrestler, but they put him in this spot with Seth, where literally Omos should have won. I'm not for Omos winning, but if you're gonna do something with Omos, Vince, he has to win because he feels like a nothing, kind of like Lance Archer with AEW. You show how monstrous he is. You throw him into a program, but he cannot get it done in the clinch. Same thing for Omos. He can do the business until it's important, and when it comes to the clinch, he can't get it done. So Omos really needed to win here, even though I'm glad he didn't win, because seeing Seth didn't go over, I'm going like, really? They went there? But here's the problem. Omos did need to go over. Because what are you doing with him? Even if Vince thinks he's got it, he's losing. He shouldn't be losing to a Seth Rollins. But here's the problem. He has to lose to Seth because he's Seth frickin' Rollins. And them singing Seth's song really did help the match a lot because I didn't even want to watch it. Not because Omos was that bad. It was that you got Seth selling as much as he could. Yes, Omos kicked out of the first stomp. Then the second stomp, he wouldn't let him even do it. And yes, eventually Seth won, but still, you got my point. Let's move on. The U.S. title match that I think shouldn't have happened. Bobby Lashley versus Austin Fury versus a Bronson Reed. Let's make this clear. Did I believe Bronson Reed was going to win? No. Did I believe Bobby Lashley was going to win? No. Could he have won? Of course he could have. Could Bronson Reed win? Of course he could have. And I believe either one of them would have been fine. But this is Austin Fury. And I didn't expect him to lose here. He just transferred to SmackDown. I didn't expect him to lose. Because of one simple reason. The feud between Bronson and Bobby is not over. I don't see it being over, but I see Austin Fury moving on. Now, was it a bad match? No, I want to make this clear. It was not a trash match. Bronson Reed, for his size, can really work. And seeing that he went, well, let me paint you a picture, because you'll see it yourself. But from my point of view, you see Bobby thrown outside the ring. You see Bronson Reed deciding, I want to flatten his ass. So what does he do? He grabs the top turn rope, jumps up, goes straight out, and lands square on Bobby Lashley's right shoulder. A 400-pound man, already spread eagle like this, landing flat on Bobby's shoulder. Yes, Bobby fell to the floor as much as he could, as quickly as he could, to give. But he could have actually hurt himself. Let's make it clear. Bronson is not light. He's not. Jonah will flatten your ass. Remember how acceleration increases mass. That's basic math. If you weigh 150 pounds, if you're going almost 20 or 30 feet off the ground, your weight will increase from 150 to maybe up to 200 or more as you accelerate to terminal velocity, if you have enough time to do it. There you go. Now, that was SmackDown. Here's another Raw match, which is the same thing as the opening. Rhea Ripley versus Selena Vega. Now, let's make this clear. I've always liked Selena. Thea. I always have. I liked her. I've never been against Selena Vega. I've never been against Thea. When she was in Impact Wrestling, she did well when she was a tag champion. And she's really tried her best to make Delgado El Fantasma means something. Latino World Order means something. And this was an opportunity of a lifetime for her. Look, girls in New York are like me. She lost her dad in 9/11. This girl has lost a lot but worked her ass off to make something out of herself. Knowing that her relative is Amazing Red. Knowing that another relative actually faced Bruno Sammartino and made it very clear that I believe her uncle broke his nose facing Bruno and never wrestled again. If that's true. This was a dream for her. Whether she won or lost, let's make it clear. And I believe I got a shot of it and it's in my face. She literally's got the Puerto Rican flag as her cape. Come on, let's make it clear. She was going to do that. She did. This was a dream of hers when she went into that ring, and when she was announced Zelina Vega, they didn't rush this. And seeing Rhea Ripley in white, trying to be as pure as possible, I was actually kind of scared. Would they actually do that? And I'm thinking, no, there's no way. Vince would not let Thea win. There's no way Thea was going to win here. Because as a person, Thea, not Zelina Vega, the actual person, Thea, whose husband is in AEW, that I'm kind of hoping that he could have been there quietly. And no one would say anything, but he came to visit. And was able to be there for his wife. And no one's talking about it, which I hope. Because that's a moment he needs to be there for. That's what I'm hoping for. But I didn't expect her to win there. Did she do all right? No. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about her performance as a wrestler. She was fine as a wrestler for her size. You got Rhea, you got Zelina Vega. This is a size difference. But it wasn't that for me personally. It was the build. There was very little build here. I mean, most people say, yeah, there was a build. It should have been more than a month. It should have been something that she could have been built up into, showing that she can go up against larger wrestlers, going against more than just Rhea Ripley. She should have gone up against Lacey Evans. Or if you, look, for me personally, what would have been good? Seeing Zelina Vega go up against, not Bianca Belair, but maybe Chelsea Green, maybe Liv Morgan, maybe Raquel Rodriguez, going up against other wrestlers. Even if she doesn't win, it shows that she's determined, that she doesn't quit. That was the problem for me. Seeing her only have a little bit of interaction with Rhea and nothing before that, that was it for me. I wasn't going to believe any of it. Did I believe she was going to do the best she could? Yes. Do I believe she did a bad job in the ring? No. But I wanted more out of the story. This is a woman who's gone through all of that. Where is the vignettes of her talking about her father, loving wrestling? Where was the vignettes talking about how she worked so hard to get where she is? Where was it? Nothing. So for me personally, it didn't mean anything. I knew that she wasn't going to win. I was not against her. I'm glad she had this moment in Puerto Rico with all her family there. And after it was all over and said and done, they were cheering their asses. And I think they were saying, "You are Puerto Rican." I don't know. I think that's what it is. Because like I said, I don't speak Spanish. I know very little Spanish at all. But even though I don't know much of it, I can obviously see they were cheering for her, saying, "You're one of us." That's obvious. Let's move on. The San Juan street fight. Let's make this clear. This was the best match of the night. It was. This was a moment for Bad Bunny where the music was bumping. People were loving it. And I could tell you, I don't usually listen to Spanish music much, but it worked. Then you got Damian Priest, who stayed stoic, who was just calm, and through most of the match, he didn't really even use any of the utensils. He let Bad Bunny use it because the story was Bad Bunny is nothing compared to the Titan of Damian Priest. He doesn't have the training, even though he did train a bit. He doesn't have the size. That's obvious. He didn't have the strength. So Damian didn't even believe he even needed a weapon. He broke at least one or two kendo sticks just to prove that he doesn't need a weapon. He is a weapon. And even with Latino World Order coming out, Even with Carlito coming out, I thought it was going to be Carlos Colon, his dad. But it was Carlito came out, doing a little bit of Caribbean cool, eating an apple and spitting in the face of Dominic because Judgment Day also came out. You had, how can I say it? Seeing Vega come out. Seeing, oh my goodness. He's in my face. I haven't seen him in a long time. He super kicked Finn Balor in the damn face. He's still flexible. Good for him. And it made sense for him to be there. If there wasn't going to be Carlos Colon, it had to be him. But I kind of wish that he would actually stick with the Latino World Order and actually be a part of them. I'm being honest here. Next to Ray, I think he should be there. But I don't know. You guys, some below. But in the end, seeing all those beatings with the chair shots from Bad Bunny onto. I know you're going to say, wait a minute, what about when Damian Priest got his leg jacked by Bad Bunny? Yes, that was important. That was there. But the most important thing was the chair shots at the end. That's what led up to him winning. And I do believe that was the main factor they wanted to show, that when it came to this, it really made it important. And once it was all over and the Latino World Order came out, Carlos Colon came out. Well, not Carlos, Carlito came out. Sorry, my allergies. And Salvador Vega, I'm mispronouncing his name. I forgot his first name. But you know who I'm talking about. There's a picture there on my face. I might even use that as a thumbnail. When you see them all, it actually looks like they should all be part of the Latino World Order, and all of them should be on Raw. All of them. But I know they're not. You're not going to see Carlito there. You're not going to see. So why am I forgetting his name? But you know who I'm talking about. Let's move on to the match that I was waiting for. Next to Bad Bunny, this one was important. The 6-man tag. You got the Usos and Solo Sikoa versus the Champs and Matt Riddle. The question was going to be, what would Solo do? Because they've been booking this, that Solo has to be doing something. Is he going to take the head off of Jimmy or Jay? Is he going to take off either one of them? Was he trying to get to either Sammy or to Kevin? Who was he going after? Or was he going after Matt? We don't know. But during the match, we got a good idea. The match was good. Was it better than the Bobby Lashley Theory and Reed match? No. It was just as good, but it wasn't better. But what we got at one point, we got Solo really kind of getting annoyed with Jay, because Solo tagged in Jay at one point. And Jay wanted to finish off Sammy himself, but Solo just going, I'm done. I'm finished with this. Stop talking to this boy. He didn't say it, but that's what it was implied, because Jay was talking to Sammy saying, you're the one who broke my family. I'm going to make you pay for it. This is your fault. Why do you keep doing this? But Solo made it very clear. No more playing. I want to finish this. But Jay tags him back, and he makes it very clear. I'm the older brother. I'm the older brother. Get over there. I'm the older brother. I'm going to do this. But what happens? Sammy Haluma kicks flat out, straight to the face of Solo Sikoa. And that pissed his ass off. What did Solo do? Solo just whooped ass. Until that moment, you could see it in my face. I do believe I got that shot. You got Solo getting grabbed by Jay because he didn't see him. And he got the Samoan spike ready. And once he had him near his neck, he was holding it. Instead of just dropping it because he realized it was his brother. No. He's like this. If you see it in my face again, he is literally holding that Samoan spike back. And he said, you're going to try and hit me? And this is Jay. Are you trying to hit me? And in the end, Solo gets the pin. He's the one that pins Matt Riddle. I'm not surprised because this is not going to be the time for Matt to actually get over a lot. It's going to be Sammy, it's going to be Kevin. They're not getting hurt here. They're not going to be pinned. But here's the question. This SmackDown, what is going to happen? What's going to happen now? Because they're going to bring it up that Solo is, dude, I mean, you know what I mean. I'm just like, Jimmy was trying to be peacekeeper between the two in the ring. I think I got that shot. It's in my face as well. He tried to be peacekeeper. But in the end, somebody's not happy. Either Solo's not happy or Jay is not happy. I'm just saying. Now, let me say this before I move on to the final match of the night. Hearing them talk about this damn tournament for the world title, for Raw. Let me say this again. They're having a tournament for the next 3 weeks, Raw and SmackDown, for the finals at Jeddah at Night of Champions. I believe that's what they're going to call it, Night of Champions. That's on the 27th, I believe. Yeah, the 27th of May. It is a tournament for both brands. Why are they doing that? It is stupid. What is the point of the brand split in the first place? I knew it. I heard JD sound confident that they're going to do something. Just Alex was confident they were going to do something. What did I say? No. I knew there was something wrong. I couldn't put my finger on how far I was going to go. I didn't know how far they're going to go with the draft. But I didn't feel confident. And look what's going on. That is the most stupidest decision Vince made. Now, Brock versus Cody. Cody whooped some ass before the match even happened. He went and destroyed Brock with chair shots, threw him on some steps, did everything he could to mess his ass up, to jack his shit up. And what happened? It didn't work at first. At one point, I don't think I got the shot of Brock Lesnar after getting beaten the hell up. You literally see him just get tossed by Brock. An overhead, well, like a Samoan drop, but he threw him. He tried to make Cody as sympathetic as possible. And it worked. The crowd, well, eventually the crowd turned to Cody. But at first, like most of this show, the crowd wanted something different. Because they wanted Suplex City at first. Then eventually they started switching to Cody. They're a little bit back to Suplex, but back to Cody. In the end, next to block. It's in my face. It's blood. Since Cody pulled off that turnbuckle and Brock went head first into it, he split his head. I believe I got a shot of that. It's in my face too. He split his head open. Well, not his head. Where did he split his... Where? Between his eyes or just somewhere in the forehead here or in between his eyes? He split his shit open. And they played on it. And in the end, Cody won by roll-up. With the Kimura locked on. I believe I got that shot. It's in my face. The Kimura was locked in. Cody literally rolled up Brock and won. The story's still going on. But do I buy that? No. I mean, he was in the Kimura that usually Brock finishes people. And he rolled him over and pinned him. I know the crowd was happy about it. It wasn't a bad thing. But still, I don't agree with it. I don't. But was this show bad? No. But it was catered to Spanish people. At most of the show was only spoken Spanish. When you see Salvio Vega, I believe that's his name. Salvio. I don't know why I couldn't remember Salvio Vega's name. It was only Spanish. So I couldn't understand it. At one point when we were watching Selena Vega with Rhea Ripley, she went to her mother and grabbed a blue slipper and threw it at her. I don't know what that means. They say it means something. I don't know. I didn't grow up with it. I don't know what that means. Now, if you know, you can leave it in the comments below. But to me, I don't know what it is, and it didn't really mean anything to me. But as I said, this was catered to Latinos only. It doesn't make a difference if you're Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, Colombian, or Cuban. It didn't make a difference. This was meant for you, so you would feel it. And it worked. San Juan, Puerto Rico got exactly what they wanted. Anyone who was Spanish who loved this, Latino, loved it. They got a lot of what they wanted. For me personally, I could give it or take it. It was not a bad show, but since most of it I didn't know, it didn't affect me. It didn't make me angry because I couldn't understand. It was just, for me, maybe above middle of the road, above average. Not bad, but not like something I could fully understand or get into. But that's just me. You guys, comment below, and I hope you enjoyed this Backlash 2023. Please give me a comment below. I am stuffy. That's why I sound like I'm choking here. Peace.